Silly. Terrible. Final nail engraved for the superhero genre. As many of you know, the highly anticipated James Gunn film Superman is out in theaters this Friday, starring David Cornsweet as possibly the most well-known superhero of all time. And of course, the famous social media embargo lifts tomorrow, July 8th, which means that the press officially has the green light from Warner Bros. To release the reviews of Superman. However, some websites and news sources just couldn't help themselves and put out reviews of Superman early, only to delete them minutes later. Lucky for us, once something's on the internet, it's always on the internet. Let's dive in. Let's kick it off with Variety. The well-known news outlet covers everything relevant in the world, from current events to TV and film. Just recently, they put out a seemingly innocent review on Prime's new original movie, Heads of State, with Idris Elba and John Cena. The film earned a respectable 67% on Rotten Tomatoes and currently sits at a 6.5 out of 10 on IMDb, which is nothing special, but it's not terrible either. Variety discussed the opening of the film and then out of nowhere dropped this bombshell. You could be forgiven for writing off Heads of State, but then you would miss a movie that's no sillier than Superman and a lot more entertaining. Okay, what? Variety basically just said John Cena and Idris Elba's action comedy is a better film than James Gunn's Superman. This is not a good sign. Alright, now let's get into The Daily Beast. Their criticism of Superman was a little bit more than referencing it in a different film's review. No, instead they released an article titled, "Terrible New Superman is Final Nail in Superhero Cinema's Coffin." Wow. Here are just a few highlights from their article that just goes on a complete rant against James Gunn's new film. The Daily Beast says it resembles a Saturday morning cartoon, that Superman is no Snyderian Christ figure, and that he's a sweet and sincere do-gooder, which, is that a bad thing? They also say it's got a lot of over-the-top CGI and that there's no real emotion in the film, like Superman's relationships get as much attention as him flying around in the spaceship. But they said Krypto's cute, so it can't be all bad. But seriously, Warner Bros. Is never letting these guys back into any early screenings for any movie after this one. And both of the articles I've mentioned have either been edited or deleted, but you can still find the screenshots online. And if I'm being honest, I'm not super worried about these reviews, especially the second one I mentioned from the Daily Beast. Like, their issue with Superman is that he's too nice. Okay, we'll all be able to see and judge the movie for ourselves soon enough. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know your thoughts.